Systems of equations, examples 5 and 6. For 5 and 6, I'm going to use elimination to solve these. In order to use elimination, one of the variables must have the same coefficient in both equations. And to do this, we're going to have to multiply through by a common factor with one of the equations, sometimes both of the equations, to make sure that our variable has the same coefficient. Example number 5, we have negative 8x minus 10y equals 24, and 6x plus 5y equals 2. For this one, it'll be easiest to get the y values to have the same coefficient, since 10 is already a multiple of 5. We're going to use an LCM here. We want the LCM of 10 and 5 in this case. That would be 10. That's least common multiple. So if I have my LCM of 10 for my y value, I don't need to do anything to my first equation, but my second equation I'm going to need to multiply through by 2 so that y value will have the same coefficient. So if I rewrite my equations, I would have negative 8x minus 10y equals 24. That first equation doesn't change. And then we multiply by 2 for that second one, negative 12x plus 10y equals 4. So for elimination, we are going to either add or subtract our equations. That should not be a negative 12, that should just be a 12x. In this case, since our coefficients of y, one is a negative and one is a positive, we can add our equations together to get those to subtract out or cancel out. So negative 8 plus 12x would be 4x. Negative 10y plus 10y, those are going to subtract out, and then 24 plus 4 will be 28. So 4x equals 28. Then we're going to divide both sides by 4. And x would equal 7. Now this is not our final answer, this is only our x value, so we need to take that x and plug it back into one of our equations to solve and find out what y would equal. I'm going to use the second equation simply because it has less negatives in it. So that would be 6x, and instead of x, we're going to do 6 times 7 plus 5y equals 2. So 42 plus 5y equals 2. Subtract 42 on both sides. 5y will equal negative 40. Divide both sides by 5. And y would equal negative 8. So our ordered pair for number 5 would be 7, negative 8 for our solution. For number 6, in order to use elimination, we need to first put our equations both in the same order. So if we look, we have negative 4y minus 11x equals 36, and then 20 equals negative 10x minus 10y. Well, in order to use elimination, things have to line up. So I need my y and my x over here on the left-hand side and my 20 over on the right-hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my first equation. Negative 4y minus 11x equals 36. And then I'm going to move my 10y over. When I move that to the other side, it's going to become a positive 10y. I'm going to move my 10x over. That's going to make that a positive 10x. Equals, and if I move my 20 over to the other side, that's going to make that a negative 20. Okay. Now there are other ways to rewrite the equations. What I'm going to be most concerned with is, did you follow steps mathematically, and did you get the same answer in the end that I got? Okay. So now, looking at this, we have 4y and 10y, or 11x and 10x. And I think 4 and 10 are going to be a lot easier to have an LCM with. The LCM for 4 and 10 would be 20. Okay, because 4 goes into 20 and 10 goes into 20. So if that's going to be my LCM, that means I'm going to need to multiply my first equation by 5, because 4 times 5 would give me 20, and my second equation by 2, because 2 times 10 would give me 20. So then when I rewrite those, I would have negative 20y minus 55x equals, and let's see, 36 times 5, 180. 2 times 10y would be 20y times that 10x plus 20x, and then negative 40. Okay. So again, here, since 20 and negative 20, since they have opposite coefficients, we have a negative and a positive, we can just add these together to get things to cancel out. So negative 20 plus 20, that's going to subtract out. Negative 55x plus 20x, negative 35x. 180 plus negative 40, 140. Divide both sides by negative 35. And 140 divided by negative 35 would be negative 4. We're going to plug that in so we can find our y value. So for our y, I'm just going to pick the first equation this time. So negative 4y minus 11 times negative 4 equals 36. Negative 4y, negative 11 times a negative 4 will give me a plus 44 there, equals 36. Subtract 44 on both sides. So negative 4y would equal negative 8. Divide both sides by negative 4. And negative 8 divided by negative 4 would give us a positive 2. So our ordered pair for number 6 would be negative 4, 2.